impairments. His work often involves innovative methods and technologies to address various communication challenges. Nair's dedication to his field is evident through his active participation in academic conferences, workshops, and his contributions to scholarly publications. Thank you, sir. So we invite you to this FDP's program today. So you're welcome on the panel.
Hi, good morning all. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for inviting me. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Okay, myself, Amith. I am working as a hardware engineer and electronics lecturer at National Institute of Speech and Hearing. So basically, my background is from engineering side, and I am working as more interested in the developing of products that is related to assistive technology. So I have been working at niche for past 5 years, and I have been the charge of additional charge for the center for there is a center called Center for Assistive Technology and Innovation that mainly focusing on how to implement this assistive technology in the disability domain. And on another center is also their National Center for Assistive and Health Technology, and it is mainly focusing on the development of assistive technology. And that center is funded by ICMR and IIT Delhi. So there are a couple of other team members are there. They are specialized in different domains like design domain, mechanical domain, electrical. Some are with the softwares, and those like team working on a particular problem that is affected by the disability area, and they develop products that need to be used for the particular domain persons. And apart from that, our institution, the National Institute of Speech and Hearing, mainly works on the domain of speech and communication. Like there are three colleges are running on the institution itself. One is for degree for hearing impaired, which means a complete degree program for those who are with hearing impaireds. And other two programs that is for the general population, mainly medical program, that is only Bachelor of Speech Language Pathology, which includes both masters and bachelors, and other is an occupational therapy college. Okay, these are the two domains where our institution is working so far. So today I will give an introduction about the assistive technology, what are the models we are using, and what are the products that we commonly use in our institution. Also the products that we are giving advice to, because we conduct an accessibility audit, as well as accessibility assessment. Like for a disabled person, we go and do assessment, and we suggest what are the products that they need to be used. So we have a couple of products in our mind, and I documented in the PPT. I will share with you all of them, so you can get an idea about what are the things you can use. Okay, so I will share my PPT here. Then we can go through each and slides, and I will give an outline about our work and how assistive technology you can implement in your own region or your own classroom, etc. Okay. Can you hello? Hello, ma'am. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, sir. The host is disabled the attendee screen sharing, sir.
वो सर कर दिया है.
Is it my screen visible? Hello?
Yes, sir. Visual.
Okay. Before going to assistive technology and innovation, I would like to share one thing is like what are the disability model currently used in our institution, and also I would like to share what are the disability model and the best suitable disability model you can adapt. There are actually three models that is in the current scenario. That is, one is a charity based model, and other is a medical model, and other is a social model. So in the medical model, which basically all like they treat disability as a something that we need to be cured. So it's like a doctor treating with a patient. He prescribes some cure mechanism, and they thought like that disability is some sort of some disabled people need cure to solve that thing. That type of model, sometimes that does not work on the fact, like that may be affect the dignity of a disabled person. And the another model is called charity model, and that model in which the disabled, that model what that model implies is that the disabled person always need some help of another person to do his functional necessity. So these two models that actually like very much barrier to the disabled person, as well as that also create the independence, like, because actually as a normal person who experiencing an independence, he has a freedom to do all kind of activities. And in the case of a disabled person, by implementing these two models, actually they need to seek support from someone to do things. So that's why that type of model is not like make them free. So that way there is a new model comes into picture, that is called social model. In social model, actually what comes forward is actually, wait for a second, man. But actually in social model, what the people say, like disabled people are not disabled by the environments, because the world is putting a barrier on them. The disabled persons are not putting a barrier on them. So in the social model mainly comes into picture of the accessibility, like you need to make your environment more accessible to include all the population. So I will give you an example that uh, if you create a ramp on your institution entrance, is that okay for all peoples to go through ramp, or you people need a step rather than ramp? It's an open question. So you can share your idea, then we can discuss it.
Sir, being a normal person, we will prefer stairs.
But actually, if you create a RAM, is any issue that the normal persons can use RAM? They can use RAM,
No,
right?
no, it's not. They can use. They can
Yeah, they
use
can
that.
use RAM. Then you can create. Then you can create a simple RAM. So wheelchair user can easily move the RAM. No need to create step. Because when you create step, if you don't create RAM, the wheelchair user needs someone's help to lift his wheelchair to enter the building, right? So like that type of thought need to be comes into picture when it comes to the social model. So everything, like for example, another thing is when we construct the bathroom doors, we construct in a very small, like around 75 centimeter. So what happened is that when we try to use a wheelchair is not easy to move inside the bathroom or toilet. So if you construct a door of 120-meter, a normal person can also enter it. A wheelchair user can also enter the toilet. So that type of thought need to be comes in the social model, because we design, we develop, and we create something in the mind to include them also. Because like if we constructing a ramp, that does not create a barrier for the wheelchair user. It give him an accessible to that place. If we create a door is bigger, so much bigger, it also give an accessible for that person it does not even create a barrier for the normal person also. So like in 2016, the RPWD Act comes into picture, and after that, National Building Code is published, and in the National Building Code, all the public buildings should be accessible because of that. So everything what once we are doing something, like for example, if for a meeting, we always use transcribe, to do the minutes of the meeting. Even if we know that when in the office, when we discuss something important with our director or thing, we often take minutes of the meeting, right? Why we are taking minutes of the meeting? We need to point out what are the things that we discussed on the meeting. Depending upon that, we need to create a we can look that minutes later, and we can figure it out. Okay, the same thing. For example, if you are organizing a big event, sometimes a hearing impaired person is also be sitting on there. You can use a Google Docs, open it, and you can type that thing what the speaker is doing on the dais. So the hearing impaired person can also get and understand that, okay, the speaker is talking about these things. That's the way we need to be do inclusion. Because if you are opening a Google Docs or typing, that does not cost you. Google Docs is free. Anyone can type, and the other person. That's how we include all the persons to a. So that's called a social model. Like charity and medical model. In the charity model, I always explain that someone need help. Like every time they need a help. Like even I will personally tell you that when you when I have seated wheelchair for training purpose, I was interested to do wheelchair myself. I don't need someone to support me. So that's why, like, even any wheelchair, if we talk to wheelchair users, actually all wheelchair users, they want to move independently, because wheelchair is designed to make them independent. So we need to support them to make the barriers. We need to remove the social barriers across their side to include all, because these are the barriers that created by ourselves. If we are not creating RAM, that's our mistakes, not their mistakes. If we are not creating the bathroom a bigger one, it's our mistake, because we are not thinking about themselves. We are only thinking about ourselves. And like even at that time, even some wheelchair user comes, you use the charity model to be, because charity model actually destroy the dignity. So that type of thing. So when you go for an assistive technology, you need to think in mind that you need to implement the social model. Okay. The next thing is how we can implement it. Like right now, it is a collective effort of legal, technological, and socio-economic changes. Like even in the old times, US is the one country that has a well-developed assistive technology ecosystem. Because from starting onwards, like they have an assistive technology bill. They also have a assistive technology renting policy. They also provide financial support to purchase assistive technology products. It's a bigger platform where the persons can use the things to do and purchase. And we adopted lot of inputs from the USA, and we ourselves created RPWD bill on 2016 in order to make Indian accessible. But there is no Assistive Technology Act or something similar in India, but only now they are working on the same to develop that. So if the Stephen Hawking, he has been a long time in wheelchair. He has been using a computer for a long time. How he used the computer, he used lot of support equipments to use it. But if someone, even when he consider the case of in India, but there is no more technology available on that time in India to implement such things. So right now we are working on that domain. Like we need to include, because a lot of technologies is currently in India, and now India is much more working on that domain to make all things equal. So there is a part of technology need to be included. There is also legal, which means, like I already said, like if we create a RAM, all the public buildings must have RAM. Then a person can easily enter it. Even the footpath, You need to be some because I have seen in my places that footpath is sometimes occupied by the shopkeepers selling products. Because footpath is created with a large scale because the wheelchair user can easily move. That's the aim of creating footpath. But they are like so legal. Sometimes the like government and other missionaries need to be work legally to make that include. And other is a socio-economical, like we need to be change ourselves, right? Because we need to think ourselves. We don't want to create. We don't create any barrier for the other persons. It's come from our mind itself that even I am doing something, I don't create barrier for anyone. If I am creating a program, like I am doing a talk or something, I need to include all the persons. That will be come from our mind. So next is about what is an assistive technology. Like so, uh, I will play a video.
We all like to do things, like color, and read, and use a computer. It's how we play, learn, work, and get things done. But when a disability makes it hard to do something we'd like to do, we need a little help. Luckily, there's a solution. Welcome to Simply Said, Understanding Assistive Technology. Assistive technology, or AT, is anything that helps you do something you couldn't do otherwise, like walk, run, communicate, and more. These helpful tools can be as simple as a foam grip that makes it possible for a child to grasp a crayon and create art, as common as glasses that make it possible for a student to read and learn, or as sophisticated as software that makes it possible for an employee to convert their spoken word to text on a computer screen and succeed. Whether you're young or old, male or female, whether you've had a disability from birth or developed one over the years, AT can help. We all like to do things, like color and read.
So before go,
We all like to do things.
so before going to that, what is an AT? AT assistive technology is a product that is used to improve the functional capacity, like enhance the functional capacity of a person who is in disability. So, for example, if we are using a specs, that's also considered as an AT. It's a small AT, but it's an AT. Sometimes I used the software in Google Transcribe, because using Transcribe, I can record the speeches it in a textured manner. Sometimes I don't get understand what the speaker is talking. So sometimes I use that thing. It will convert that to a text, so I can get an idea about what he's speaking. And I also use sometimes I use Google Translate. This is also we can consider, like in the case of me, that's like I don't know about that particular language, so I use transcribe system to translate that thing. There are a lot of things, like even if you go to the settings of both Android and iPhone, there is a settings called, even if you go to the Windows itself, there is a settings called accessibility settings. Using accessibility, there are a lot of features available in it. I will while going through this, I will give an idea about what are the technologies available there. So they are available to use the assistive technology devices more effectively. So when come to AT, because AT is a new thing that comes to market, because 2016 when we start our sender, that is the first sender in India where we working on the assistive technology ecosystem. Later only, a lot of people comes to the picture, like why, because why we started this center, like there are because of so much of gap and lack of awareness. So from that we understand that there is a lot of the gaps that is available in the India. One is the prohibitive cost of AT, because the because when we say about AT products, uh, for me also first comes into mind is a wheelchair, crutches, prosthetic arms. These are the AT products. Before joining this institution, when I hear about an AT, I mostly in my mind these are the products. But when it comes to when I joined the institution, and after a long time when I working with these kids, I understand that AT does not restrict to those domain. It's a wide domain. There are a lot of products in the market that is used as an assistive technology devices in the rehabilitation side, and mostly all the products are imported from abroad, mainly from USA, and the cost is thrice to 4 times the cost at US. I can give an example that there is a single message button switch called big blue button switch, that when I import that product from USA, its cost is around 75,000, because I just need to pay around on 50% is something, yeah, like exporting cost, like customs duty, because the product is not manufactured in India. Next is the lack of awareness, and there is an awareness. There is a very lack of awareness among the people that they thought that disability is some sort of what I don't want to say that way, like some sort of things that created by something, and so that type of like awareness that is among the people, but that's bad. Like, so we don't like, we need to understand that even if we can provide the technology, we can make them make their life better. They can do also same things that we are doing right now. So like that type of awareness need to be created. And other is the refusal to use of technology, and even sometimes like the using of technology is also be uh, like stopped by the persons itself. So that type of thing also need to be overcome. So the refusal of use of technology, from my experience, I think that the affordability is the bigger issue. Sometimes these persons can't able to afford that technology. That's why they're not using that. For example, there is a software called iGaze, a software hardware system that can be used for a paraplegic person or quadriplegic person. They can use the computer. They can control the computer using their eye tracking, eye movement. But that individual product will be cost up to 7 to 20 lakhs. For the entire company, it's around 20 to 25 lakhs something. So that's not affordable for a normal middle class person. Even if a middle class person can't able to afford that thing, because I need lot of other supports. So that type of things comes. The technology is refused by the persons, and that how to solve that things are like we need a proper support from the government. Other is we need to develop an AT industry in the India. Also, we need to do lot of innovations in the assistive technology domain and make the industry sound. So, and other thing is like there are a lot of other products are available in there. We need to do a proper and continuous training for those persons to use how to use the devices. So that's are the gaps that I have we figured it out from our side, and these are the gaps in India which we need to be overcome. So we can easily overcome these gaps by support from the government, support from the young innovators, and support from all the like enthusiasts who want to make changes for those. Also, we need to create more awareness among the people that everyone can be socially inclusive. Like everything need to be inclusive. We can create an awareness. So these are the things like, and next I will tell you about what are the products for the persons with visual impairment are using. So these are the products that one is a screen reader that basically reads the screen and give the output in braille. Next is that is a screen reader along with a magnifier. Magnifier is mainly used for magnifying some portion, which is low vision persons. They can use that thing. Next is a talking braille kit. Next is a braille kit. That how it's work is like we can use to type the keywords, and sometimes if someone is talking, it will record it and give. So we can connect it with the WhatsApp or something. You can read the messages. You can write the messages. Next is talking color recognition. If you want to recognize a color, you need to place that device on the color and you give both audio output, and if you connect a braille with that, it also gives a braille output also. Next is a talking device, which is a device like, for example, it is a weighing machine. Once you get into the weighing machine, it will give your weight as the audio output. The next thing is a large type keyboard, desktop magnifier, Reddit, and Omax VGA. Okay, these are the like large type keyboard. You have seen the figure itself. The keyboard is black and yellow. Why they are using black and yellow? Because like it's a low vision persons can see the difference in that domain and they can easily get it, because this type of large keyboards is used for low vision persons. Next is a desktop magnifier. This desktop magnifier and this Reddit both are same. Like they scan the entire textbook and read it loudly. And this magnifier, which means scan the textbook and we can enlarge that thing and we can read. Next is scientific calculator, audible cricket ball. It's a normal cricket ball. When you taken it, it will create sound and balls on it. Next is comb light. This is also used for talking. Next is artificial eye and lens. This scientific calculator, which means that we can do the mathematical operations and which will give us an audio output. Next is an AAC device, large universal. I'll let you. So so next comes to the learning disability. Learning disability, which means that like persons can need support to learn things because they easily forget things. Like which means that it affect to act like that type of disorder. It's an they can able to you learn academic skills such as reading. It's very difficult for them to read sometimes, so some kids are difficult to do calculation. So that type of disability comes under the learning disability. And in the case of learning disability, we use sometimes message communicated box. For example, it's a GoTalk. GoTalk is a 30. This is 32 message switch. Sometimes kids is not speaking. We use this type of boards. It's a pre-recorded voice on this button. There are 32 needs. We record 32 messages on this button. When they click on the hello button, it will reply hello. When they click on water, it will give an output as water. Like that message is written by ourselves. Not written by ourselves, which is that we are recording that voice and using. The other is a quick talker. All these have same function. We record some voice, and when we press on the button, it will give the voices output. And the second thing I just want to share is like these are the devices which is currently available in the US market and not available. It's available in Indian market, but we need to pay more amount. Like we need to charge the custom fee also for procuring those. This is Little Mac. Is a single message button switch. Next is a Clavi keyboard. It is similar to the bigger keyboard, but it has a using different type of color tones to learn the kids. So this type of keyboards used for the kids who has learning disability. Next is the products that is used for a speech impairment. In the speech impairment, the same thing is also used, like a Big Mac communication switch. This is a grid software. Those who have difficulty to speak, we are using a grid software. This software is also like we can create a box and we create some text on it and we record some voice on it. When we click on that text, it will give an audio. This is the same device like that we used in the earlier. For learning disability also we are using the same. And this Big Mac, it is a single message button switch. This GoTalk is an overlay software which means that we can create that software will gives an output. Like when we click on it, it will show you that what is the button is showing. So hearing impaired person sometimes uses the earlier like Big Mac switches or GoTalk switches. And in addition to that, there is a couple of things is that hearing aid. Hearing aid is also a part of an assistive technology devices that help to capture the voice around us and give that sound to inside ear for better understanding. There are different type of hearing aids available in the market. So one is a behind hearing aid, and one is inside the invisible to the ear canal, and other important technology is a cochlear implant, which means that we have done that through a surgery. And next is the completely canal hearing aid, which can be placed inside the ear. So these are hearing aids are just a device that maybe capture the voices and that will assist, so that will help a person to hear things clearly. And apart from that, the another on new things is that cochlear implant that is mainly done through surgery. That is, we are like creating a like hearing nerve inside the cochlea. Next is another device. This is an important device that you can use in the education institutions to make your class inclusive to the hearing impaired person who is using hearing aids. Even a kid is using the hearing aid, he may be sitting in the front row, to get the lecture clearly. But even if the lecturer is walking around the classroom, it's very difficult for him to hear the voice. So in that case, we are using this device. How this device works is there is a Roger pen, a Roger clip mic, Roger X, and Roger Mini. So what is the Roger pen and Roger clip mic? Both are mic that capture the voice. Roger receiver is something that will receive that voice. So even the pen that can keep by the lecture itself, and the Roger receiver can place by the student, and that Roger receiver can directly integrate it with the hearing aid. So once the lecturer is delivering the lecture, it will directly comes to the hearing aid. So even the kid can sit in the back seat or front seat or wherever inside the classroom, he can hear the lecture much clearly. So he don't need to be sit in front of the classroom, and lecturer need to be stand every time in front of the classroom to deliver the class. So this is an important device that you can implement in your colleges, and this devices is right now used in one of the medical college in Trivandrum for one or two kids. So that type of that type of inclusion we need to be done. So next is the products that is used for cerebral palsy. For cerebral palsy, it's very difficult to operate things. For example, even I already told you about like some press button switches. The press button switch work is when we record some message, when we press on the button, it will give a voice out. For example, if I need food, I can paste a food symbol on the button and record a voice call, "Mama, I need food." Then I use that button in place of the kid. Then when kid gets hungry, he press the button, "Mama, I need food." Then his or her mama understand that he or she needs food. He comes and give food. So that makes him independent. Where sometimes when you are not using any switch, he or she get hungry. How he or she get express that thing to her mom? She creates some voices. Sometimes mom is much far. She don't hear that voices. So that type of situation you can avoid by using these type of devices. So when come to cerebral palsy, the hand movement is very limited. You can use very much less force. In that case, there comes a device called AWAS hand switches. Hand switches is a device where you just need a small force, small Newton of force is applied on that switch to operate it. That is a good example for this. And next, AWAS is a mobile application. It's an Android and iOS based application. You can create lot of contextual text and you not press on it like "Mama, I need." Hello. 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 Hello, sir. Hello, sir. Am I visible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible and visual. I think somebody's mic is unmuted. You can continue, sir.
Okay. My screen is also visible, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Second is a pictorial software. Software also the same thing. Like you can create different type of boxes, and each boxes you can write a particular text. For example, I want to brush, that type of communication, because sometimes the kids can't able to express through words. We use these type of devices and teach them. We regularly teach the kid to use that technique, and later the kid became independent, because sometimes they can't able to speak, but they use these type of tools to communicate, because our prime aim is to make them communicate with others. For example, their parents, they said, "Mom, I need food. Ma'am, I want to go to bathroom. Ma'am, I want to dress. Ma'am, I want to sleep." That type of communication enabled, then kid became more independent. Sometimes they need help, but at least they can tell, "Mom, I need this, I need that." That they can easily communicate. But even if there is nothing available on that, how that person can to communicate his needs? So we introduce the technologies. And one thing I just want to share is that these technologies are available there. If we directly give these technologies to these kids, it does not work. We need to train these kids to use that thing regularly. And after using regularly, they finally get adopted to that technology. Where there is I want to share an experience that there are two cerebral palsy kids come to our institution for learning how to use NeoMotion. There is a vehicle called NeoBolt and NeoMotion. It's a bike. So actually, and on IT firm called UST Global is ready to fund, provide their CSR fund for these kids. So we suggested them, if they can train on this using this vehicle, we can suggest them, you can go and buy. So we do a 1 month training, regular training for these two kids, and finally they get adopted to that, how to use that. Even they, that the cerebral palsy kids, but I think their level is very low, but so that's why they can be able to use a bike. So finally we train them, and now they are using that bike in their home, so they can easily move around their places. So that type we need to implement things, but one thing is we need to train them. Training is the important thing when we try to implement some sort of assistive technology in some domain. Okay. Food switches is something that they can operate reducing food. For example, I already told you about like Stephen Hawking. Even the Stephen Hawking, he control his computer using chin switch. So this chin switch is also like, there is a method called switch access control in computers, mobile phones, and all devices. For example, if you are using iOS, you can go to switch control. You can just go to the settings and type switch control. You can get switch control. If you are using Android, you just type switch control, you will get it. Even Windows, Mac, any software with using switches. Two switches, you can control the entire functions, because one is scan, other is select. When we click on the scan, it will rapidly scan each and every portion. When we click on select, it will select that thing. So that way you can use the entire, navigate entire system using that method. These are the other devices. These are the similar devices to that I told you, AC devices. Next is chair for a cerebral palsy kid. You can see the chair. It's not a normal chair. You can see what type of supports that are providing on that chair. They even provide a support to have his lunch on that table itself. Next is the tools that we used for the autistic kids. Some arrangement tools, like we want to teach the kids. We use different type of numbering system. We using different type of colors, because these kids are very socially awkward. Like they have a social stigma. So in that case, we need to solve that thing using this type of tools. This is a chart where we use what are the devices we are used for different type of domains. Next is a product for persons with locomotor disability. These are the locomotor. This is one is manual wheelchair, crutches, walking sticks, and powered wheelchair. I think all these products, I think you are like seeing from your daily life, or you're seeing somewhere in the hospitals. Lot of areas we are seeing these devices. When it comes to assistive technology, it's a promising business, but like if you want to design, develop something, you need a continuous support from the lot of missionaries. These are the other areas where assistive technologies use, like prosthetic limbs, lower limb prosthetics, endoskeleton, etc. So next is one thing I just want to share is government is also supporting through ADIP scheme for purchasing the disability, like standard assistive technology aids for kids. So in our institution, we have successfully completed a lot of projects in under ADIP scheme in the purchasing of hearing aids to a lot of kids. So it is a successful program in Kerala. Next is some other examples that I can provide. It's a universal design. For example, mobile. Mobile is an highly universal design when come to a highly specialized equipment. For example, highly specialized equipments like exoskeleton. That's a highly specialized equipment. So these are these. I just want to share about an example. That's only the mobile phone is a universal design thing. So that can be used by anyone. When come to a highly exoskeleton, but if I want to share about exoskeleton, that exoskeleton is project is currently running in different parts on the army itself for making superhuman. So that exoskeleton can be used for a person with a disability who has impaired physical impairment to move or motor impairments. So these are some, for example, here you see some of technologies are low tech and are high tech. So what is mean by low tech and high tech? Low tech means a technology that can be easily created, easy to buy. Even some products we can easily manufacture using other. For example, if you want to create a, if some person have difficulty to write, difficulty to hold a pencil, you can simply create a pencil holder using taking a board, make a hole, put a pencil over there. They can easily hold the board and write. Okay, if you can get a good pair of lens, you can create a magnifier itself. If you can get an Arduino and a like ultrasonic sensor, you can simply create a walking stick. If you have a computer, if you can get a 2 or 3 button switches, you can easily create a like a computer based system. But the other items like wheelchair, exoskeleton, and high tech brain FNARS based system, those are the high tech systems. Okay, they need some sort of technical expertism and some sort of technical support from a lot of people to do that. These are on type of head switch, chin switch, eye blink switch, and switches from enability. Like these, you can go through the photo. You can see the first figure is a head switch that is operated by your head itself. Next is a chin switch. She can operate the switch using chin. Other is a mouse, sip and puff mouse. It's like a normal mouse. You can control that thing. Other is a eye blink switch. You have seen that. And eye blink, you can close the eye to create a left click or right click. Then is a switch from enability foundation channel. Next is augmentative and alternative communication devices that I already explained later, but right now I will explain much more. So you can see the image itself. You see a lot of boxes like one, different type of designs used. You can use these type of designs in the application Avas. When I click on it, I want to go. Like when we create such boxes and we will pre-record some text on it, when we touch on that particular box, it will give an audio output. That gives a communication mechanism between two persons. That type of communication is we called as augmentative and alternative communication. Next is eye gaze and brain computer interface. These are the high tech devices, and this brain computer interface is still working on it, but eye gaze is actually in the market. and it is much costlier. For next comes to daily living. Daily living, there are a lot of products you can manufacture, like dressing aids, like zipper and puff, button hooks, long handle shoe horn, reacher, adaptive kitchen tools, eating utensils, walker carrying bag. There are a lot of things you can use in daily living. Next is environmental adaptations, like what are the things you need to be like door openers, lift ramp, system designed for remotely controlled applications, electronics, a lot of things. So next I will show you one website. From that I will give you an idea about what are the assistive technology, simple products that are available in it. So my screen is visible, right? So I will show you some couple of, for example, you can see this is a drag assistive writing devices. So you can design the drag write, and second is a light switch extension board. These are the simple assistive technology devices that is developed by themselves for daily living, and these assistive tech and this website make all the things available to all. So what happened is like so these are the areas like these are the products that is used for daily living. For example, you have seen the spoon stabilizer. Those who have Parkinson's disease can use this spoon stabilizer to eat food. Those who can use the milk carton opener, you can see the milk carton opener switch mechanism is sometimes persons can able to open the blister pack. So there is a blister pack opening. Pill splitter. If you can want to cut two pills into two, you can use this pill cutter. If you are use on-handed book holder, sometimes the person has very difficulty to cut the knife. They can use the knife using this type of cutters. So there are different type of methods, simple devices that can adapt it and you can use it. Okay. These are the areas where assistive technology can be used. Like for daily living, these are, if you can go to website, you can get a lot of idea about the daily assistive technology devices. Even some assistive technology devices I am still using in my house because it's more easier, convenient than the older method. So, like, the next is other thing is like technical side. When we go to the technical side, I will show you. One is that Windows speech recognition system. So what happened is like Windows is always come up with a speech recognition system. We can once we turn off the Windows speech recognition system, we can control all the functions of Windows using our own voice, like start, stop, scan, open this. Like even we are using Alexa, Siri, it's much more different than Alexa and Siri, but it controls all the Windows operations. Like in the Mac also, there is an option called voice control for Mac, for example, open Chrome. Okay, go to this tab, open this. When you speak, it will type your phone, but it's not Siri. Siri is a like voice assistant, but actually this is a control. So there is a difference between like Alexa, Siri, and okay Google. But this speech recognition is entirely different, which will control the computer from your voice itself. Okay, and this voice over Mac is also the same way they are using. Next is the accessible playgrounds of USA. Like these are things. So if someone wants the slide, I can share the slide with that entire team. There is no issue for me. So it's open source thing. So I can share the slide. So these are the areas where assistive technology are using, and we are working on. And these are the areas where I, along with my team, is working on. So thank you, team. If you have any questions, we can have a discussion on this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for sharing your expertise and insight during our faculty development program. Your session was enlightening and provided us with valuable knowledge and innovative approaches. We deeply appreciate your time and dedication. Your contribution has greatly enriched our professional growth. Thank you once again for your invaluable input. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. So any more questions? Or if anyone don't have any questions, we can leave, right?
Dear participant, if you have any question, please ask to sir. I think, sir, there is no question from participant side, sir. Thank you, sir. Once again,
Okay,
sir.
sir.
Into four major parts. First of all, I'll talk about what exactly, so all these faculty development program, throughout this program, we would have heard a lot about inclusion, but we'll take a step back and try to understand what inclusion truly is. Then we'll talk about how Kibo is powering AI, its AI powered technology for inclusive education. Then I'll give you a live demonstration of how is the impact of inclusion that Kibo is bringing in. And then towards the end we have a small surprise element for all of you. So yeah, let's get started. To start with, let us understand what inclusion is. So for that, let's do a quick brief activity here. Let's try understanding this document which is there on screen. If there's anybody who can let me know what is written on it, feel free to type it in the chat. I think it's tough for most of us. Let's give it another try. This time, let's make the document clear and readable. Now, if somebody can tell me what is written in this document. I think it's still tough for all of us. Let's give it a final try. Can any one of you quickly grasp what is written on this document or on this image which is displayed on screen and understand? I think it is very difficult for us to extract value out of this document quickly. And this is what all of us, there are many students who face these challenges on a daily basis. So let's come back to our original question. What is inclusion? Inclusion is not just limited to physical disabilities. Inclusion encompasses all visual as well as non-visual disabilities in terms of content inaccessibility. And inclusion is creating an environment where every individual can study and access content with equal rights, irrespective of their unique challenges. And this is the form of a classroom or an education setup where everybody can equally contribute and study to the educational content. And this is where our journey started back in 2017. As you can see in the first picture, we met Dipali in 2017. Dipali was doing extremely well till her first semester, when all of a sudden she completely lost her eyesight. She had to take a break for 2 years in order to go back and learn Braille, but her cognitive abilities at that age did not let her learn Braille that easily. Somehow she got admitted into some college where she used to get her books audio recorded. Now, a typical 300-page book took 4 to 6 weeks to get audio recorded. Sometimes she would even get her books audio recorded after her exams. Now imagine, how would the scenario change when Dipali starts working? Dipali will no longer get her documents in audio format, neither will anybody give her the office documents in Braille format. Additionally, there are other challenges which are faced by people for language and literacy barriers. And these are some of the social challenges that we at Trestle Labs try to solve. Digging deep into the challenges, we also realized some challenges. Yes, ma'am, you want to add something? Okay. So digging deep into this, we realized some of the challenges in terms of document processing. So most of the documents that are there out are scanned image-based documents which offer no searchability, no translation, and no audioization capabilities. There's very less accuracy for OCR for handwritten documents. Let's say we want to do some custom data extraction of a document. There's no structured way in which you can do those custom data extraction. And if you have documents, a handwritten hard copy document across multiple languages, it's very difficult for you to digitize those sort of content. And hence, we have developed KIBO. KIBO is an acronym for Knowledge in a Box. With KIBO, you can listen, translate, digitize, and audiotize printed, handwritten, and digital content across 60 global languages. Our product suite consists of KIBO Access Kit, which caters to hard copy documents, KIBO 360 Kit, which caters to hard copy as well as soft copy documents, and our KIBO API integration, which offers custom data processing. Our technology is patented, which helps you comply with some of the guidelines which the nation specifies, including the National Education Policy, which emphasizes on education and content to be multilingual so that everybody has the access to content in the language that they understand, and also highlight on equitable and inclusive education where right resources are available for people who are physically challenged. Even UGC guidelines specify library services to be inclusive for the people with visual disabilities. NAC guidelines share similar guidelines focusing on implementation of assistive technology in the libraries for persons with disabilities. Our keyboard's advantages lie in the number of languages we support. We support 60 global languages, focusing on some of the underserved languages, including Asian, African, and Indian languages. Our support for handwritten text, which is testified by teachers. So we have some users who are Delhi University teachers who are actually using keyboard to assess the handwritten answer sheets of students. The ability to download documents in MP3 format. So now, Dipali no longer has to wait for 4 to 6 weeks to get her books audio recorded. She can just do it in less than 30 minutes of her time. Our ability to translate documents across 100 plus languages so that people with language barriers do not face any language barrier. And our ability to make or convert PDF into a searchable digitized file with intelligent data extraction. Now, I've been talking a lot about a searchable or a digitized, accessible digitized file. But let's try to understand what a searchable or an inclusive file looks like. So this particular document is a non-accessible, non-inclusive file. Let's see how it is.
Unlabeled graphic. Find in page input scan blank.
So when I try to search something in this particular digitized PDF file, I tried to search university, it showed no results because this is an inaccessible image-based document. But with keyboard, it is completely accessible and inclusive. Let's see how.
Explore experience empower rev. Find in page output UIVER result 2 of 2.
So wherever university is written, when I searched through this document, I was able to navigate. And this document is also accessible by screen readers. So blind individuals would also be able to search and read through this content. And this accessibility is not just limited to English language. It is available across multiple languages and for handwritten text too. Let's see how. So when I try to search Trestle Labs, even if it is handwritten in a regular normal font, still I'm able to search through it. So coming back to the data processing, accessibility in terms of processing data, here as we saw, most of the PDFs are scanned image-based blurred PDFs, through which you can convert it into a searchable PDF supporting 60 global languages and handwritten text too. It also supports handwritten tabular content. So as you can see in the left side, there's a table with handwritten text, and we are directly able to convert it into an Excel sheet. Similarly, a printed document with handwriting, Tamil handwriting, can also be directly converted to an Excel sheet with Tamil language or any of the Indian languages. So now, this again is a project that we're doing with government parliament library. As you can see, the left side image, most of the matras have been erased. It's a historical text input. We are hardly able to read it because there are a lot of places where the document text is erased. Now, if we do a normal raw OCR, the middle one is the output that we usually get. Now, if we look at some of these words which are there in the output, it says expenditure because that's how we are able to read it in the original text as well, because the matras have been erased. But now, if a human was reading it or was doing the OCR, expenditure won't make any sense to this document. But what keyboard does is it adds a level of human, artificial, and emotional intelligence. It understands the context of the original document and then provides the output which contextually makes sense. So here, if this was a legal document, expenditure doesn't make any sense, and hence the output that keyboard provides makes it expenditure. Similarly, tax bills per वहम चल रही है doesn't make any sense. But what the output that keyboard provides is tax bills per बहस चल रही है. So that is an added advantage that keyboard brings in. Now you might wonder that there are a lot of technologies already out there which provide some of these capabilities. But let us try to understand how keyboard is different and what are the value addition that it brings in.
Uploading a Sanskrit document on ChatGPT 4 for OCR or translation gives an error. Doing this with a handwritten receipt results in the same way. Trying I Love PDF software now with a handwritten receipt. After OCR, it does give a digitized file, but it's not searchable for handwriting. Nor is the text copyable. Let's try Google Docs now. So upload something on Google Drive, open it with Google Docs. But the handwritten receipt, though it does get recognized, the words and the accuracy is suboptimal. Try Google Translate now. Uploading a handwritten PDF, a scanned one. Trying to translate results in a message which says can't translate scanned PDFs. With Keyboard, you digitize in a new way, searchable and accessible. Now we have a digital file with us, which is searchable even for handwriting with really high accuracy and speed.
So this was a small comparison of what things are there existing in the market, and what are the additional benefits and additional value that keyboard brings in. Now, we have talked a lot about what keyboard is and what it is doing, but I'll quickly like to show you how this works in real time, how your content, when you have any form of content, printed, handwritten, digital content, keyboard helps you transform it and makes it accessible for people with language literacy and print disability barriers. So I'll just first of all show you the device. So let's come back. This is keyboard. It's a water bottle shaped device, but you can consider this as a magical talking table lamp, which has a button on the side, which is the camera open button. So when I press this button, the initial water bottle shape now takes the shape of a small table lamp. Along with the device, you get a cable. So I'll just connect one end of the cable to my laptop or a computer and the other end to my device. At the bottom, you also have an LED light, so that in case you're scanning in a low light area, you can turn on this light, low, medium, high intensity, and use it to scan documents. Apart from this, you also get a soft mat. So the soft mat is a mousepad material mat, which is a square cutout area at the top where you place the device, and rest of the area is where you place your documents which you wish to scan. So I'll just quickly place my soft mat on my desk, put the device in the square cutout area, and now I'm all set to start accessing the power of keyboard. So I'll share my screen again. Once you've connected the device, all you'll have to do is open any browser. Let's say I'm opening Google Chrome and go to keyboard360.trestlelabs.com. And here we are at the home page of Keyboard 360. Keyboard offers 3 input options. If you have something which you want to type and then listen, translate, digitize, audiotize, you can do that. If you want to upload a PDF or an image file, you can do that. Or if you have your content, you can scan them and listen, translate, digitize, audiotize. So these are the 4 major things that keyboard helps you with. Any printed, handwritten, digital content you have, first thing is you can listen to it in real time. Second is you can translate it across 100+ languages. Third is You can download your documents in editable formats like doc, docx, txt. And fourth is you can also download your documents in MP3 format. So let's see how these things actually work. Before starting with a quick product walkthrough, I would just like to know if we have any visually impaired people in the audience. Do you want me to turn on screen reader and then demonstrate it? If somebody can give me a confirmation if we have visually impaired individuals also on the call.
Ma'am, there is no person, there is no
Okay.
visible person, ma'am, in the.
Okay, sure. Thank you so much for the confirmation. All right. So let's start scanning a hard copy document. Now, placement of the document is completely orientation friendly. So you don't need to worry about the head or bottom of the page. You just need to make sure your document is within the soft mat edges and you are all set to start scanning it. So let's capture the image. In case you're scanning an entire book, all you have to do is just keep flipping the pages and clicking on the capture button. Once you've captured all the number of pages that you want to, you can quickly process the document. Before that, you can also apply some filters, use it as a normal scanner, and apply different sorts of filters. If you want, you can crop and rotate the document. And then click on the save button. So these are some of the filters, crop. If you just want to use it as a normal scanner, you can digitize, it helps you digitize your documents. Let's process these 2 pages that we captured. So in real quick time, we get the output of the text on screen. The first thing that you can do is listen to it in real time. So I'll simply play it.
Page 1 of 2. Introduction. The night that changed my life. The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering.
I just stopped it here. You can listen to your text in real time. Now there are a couple of things that are there here on screen. The first button is reader mode. So this is primarily helpful for people who are low vision or who are dyslexic, where their cognitive abilities are not developed enough to learn in pace with the other individuals. So in that case, you can play with the font size, font style, like font styles, colors. So there are individuals who are more receptive to certain colors. So you can apply these colors, like a white text on a black background gives better contrast, or some people are more receptive to pink, yellow, blue. That you can change the colors, and then you can also focus on use the focus highlight mode, which helps dyslexic students concentrate more while they're reading their content. So this is about the reader mode. Now, to help people who face language barriers, you can translate your documents across 100 plus languages. So let's say this is an English document and we want to translate it to some other language. We can try it. If there's some language preference from the audience, I would love to translate it to that language. If not, we can go with the Hindi language as well. Okay, sure. Let's try Hindi for now. So in real quick time, it translates the entire document. Now I can listen to this translated
Page
text.
1 of 1. परिचय वह रात जिसने मेरी जिंदगी बदल दी। मेरी पीढ़ी की सबसे बड़ी खोज यह है कि मनुष्य अपने मन के दृष्टिकोण को बदलकर अपने जीवन को
I
बदल
will just
सकता है।
stop it here. So this way, for people who face language barriers, especially students who come from a vernacular background, when they come to college, they start getting their documents in English language, and it becomes difficult for them to cope up with the language. So this helps them translate the documents in the mother tongue, or it also helps comply with the National Education Policy guidelines, which specifies content to be available in all Indian languages or the mother tongue languages. We'll again go back to the original document. Along with this, you can also download your documents in editable formats like doc, docx, txt, which help you download text and make edits. So if in case there was some spelling mistake in the document you scanned, or there's some correction, some notes that you want to add, you can quickly download it in editable format and make the required edits. You can download your documents in MP3 format. So what initially used to happen at NGOs by volunteers, which took around 4 to 6 weeks, now in less than 1 minute of time, you get this entire text downloaded in MP3 format, and you can listen to this document anytime. So for students who are now more inclined towards podcast and auditory form of learning, this AI powered ability also helps them, if not read the documents, listen to the documents and study them.
Introduction. The night that changed my life. The greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. William James. In 1980, I graduated from law school and thought I'd be a lawyer for the rest of my life. After all, that's what I'd wanted to do since my early teenage years. At first, everything went according to plan. After lots of
I'll just stop
studying
it
that
here.
summer.
So this way you can also audiotize your content and listen to them. Now let's say you want to make some edits in real time. So you can just quickly come here, add your own notes or make the required changes. If you want to remove some line, you can do that and click on the save button. Next, you can also save documents on Keyboard Cloud so that it's accessible for everyone from anywhere. So when I click on save, I can segment my documents across different folders. Let's say I'm saving it in a default folder, or I can also create a new folder, FDP program, rename this as session content, and save my file on Crowd. So now, even if the device is not connected, I log in to Keyboard 360 portal from any device from anywhere, I'll be able to access the files which are there stored on cloud. So this will be available here. Even if I log in from some other device, I'll be able to translate, download, audiotize these files, and also share it across with different individuals. So if I've shared it with a student, this will be available with me here in the shared with me section. So this was all about how, if you want to scan a hard copy document, you can do that. Now let's try a PDF document. So your document can be an accessible PDF, an inaccessible PDF, or a scanned image-based PDF. Let's try uploading one PDF. Okay, so I just opened it. I'll try uploading it here. So this is a scanned PDF. Now let us look at the original PDF which I uploaded. If in case I want to copy this text, I won't be able to do it. If I want to search across something, let's say I search life, it shows me no result found. So imagine a document which is a 300-page digitized PDF file. And now, if I want to make some edits, I want to search across it. Let's say I want to go to a section or a paragraph which is at page number 283. So in this sort of PDFs, I won't be able to search that particular section. I'll have to scroll through entire 283 pages in order to find that particular text or a paragraph or a phrase that I'm looking for. But instead, what keyboard does it? Once you have the output, you can click on this magic digitize button. So when you do this, the output file that you will get will be searchable and selectable. As we already saw it in the video, this is how it actually works. So I just clicked on one button and this PDF looks the same. The format, colors, retention, everything is the same, which when we normally do an OCR, it disrupts completely. It's copyable and it's searchable as well. So it shows 1 of 9 results. And wherever life is written, I'm able to navigate. So even if life was written on page number 283 of a 300-page book, I could have easily gone to page number 283. Rest of the things remain same. You're able to translate the content which is there in a PDF. You're able to download it in editable formats like docx, txt, save it on cloud, use these features for low vision students where they can magnify the text, invert the colors and read it from the screen. You can copy the text. And if you are searching, you can also search through files across different languages. So all you have to do is just select type assist and select the language of the original content. They'll also show it to you here. Now let's say I want to, I don't have my document in PDF format, I don't have it in hard copy format. I want to draft something and then listen, translate, digitize or audiotize it and provide it to somebody. If I want to type it in Hindi, using an on-screen keyboard, it becomes very difficult to search for the right matras, the right Chandrabindu and everything. But what here keyboard helps you with is, it helps you with transliteration. So let's say I want to type something in Hindi, I'll simply select Hindi language. Now, I don't need to worry about searching the matras on an on-screen keyboard. I can simply type my text in English and select the equivalent Hindi word. So if I'm here, if I type Mera, I'm able to quickly type it in Hindi language. And once I'm done with the typing, I can click on the translate button, or I can download it in MP3 format as well. So any form of notes, if you want to type in and share it with students, you can type it and download it locally.
My name is Shivani. I am doing a demo.
So this is about enter text. So here, an entire integrated portion, a platform where anything that you want to type, you want to upload a scanned or a digital file or a keyboard, a hard copy file, Keyboard will help you not just make it accessible for visually impaired students, but will also cater to some of the digitized and translation needs of people with language and literacy barriers. And the best part is it also supports handwritten documents. So in case you write in something and you scan it, still it will give you the output with good accuracy. So this was a brief about Keyboard 360, which we have been talking about in the presentation till now, and how these things that we just showed you in the presentation actually work. So now I'll just come back to the presentation, and we looked at the different aspects of Keyboard. We launched Keyboard in July 2019. And since then, we have made more than 600 plus institutions inclusive in India. And some of our B2C and impacted 180,000 plus individuals through Kibo's technology across 25 countries in India. And we're also exporting it to 15 other countries. And I'm very happy to share that we have also deployed Kibo at the Indian Parliament Library, signifying the role and importance of inclusion that the highest authority of India understands and the technology that it is promoting through these implementations. These are some of the institutions who have already taken a step towards being inclusive, and there are hundreds of others. But for us, the real happiness or the real impact is when we see these individuals getting empowered through our technology, and they absolutely love Kibo. And let's hear from them what they feel.
Kibo device will somewhere contribute in breaking that stereotype in the society, and like it will open more and more doors of opportunities to the people.
I am completely wiped out the problem of print disability as well as digital content disability.
When I had to read all my Kannada books because my optional is Kannada literature for UPSC, I had to depend on my mother. Now I think I can do it independently.
I am quite happy with the device and its performance, because no software in India or no device in India currently gives accurate translation as keyboard does.
कैमरे से इंस्टेंट डॉक्यूमेंट रीड करना, वहाँ पर हाई कोर्ट में रिप्लाई में एक सेंटेंस को मराठी टू इंग्लिश ट्रांसलेट करना पड़ता है. ये काम कीबो की वजह से बहुत ज़्यादा फास्ट हो गया है.
I got the keyboard desk and I am very, very happy with it.
So these were some of the thoughts about Kibo by our users, some of which are visually impaired individuals at Delhi University. Some are working at Reserve Bank of India. Some of these individuals are preparing for IS examinations. Some of them are students at premium institutions like IITs, IIMs. This is the picture of our team. We are an intrinsically motivated team who have all come together with a mission to spread inclusion across these institutions and organizations. Our work has been recognized nationally and internationally with some of these awards being National Startup Award, MIT Solve, Health and Incubation. But we are very grateful to have got the opportunity to present our work to the President and Prime Minister of India this Republic Day, this year in the month of January. And we also took the opportunity to spread inclusion across the national television through a recent feature on Shark Tank India this season. And the real impact that we feel is through collaborations with organizations, institutions, and government, which help empower the lives of individuals. So this is one such project that we are doing with Government of Karnataka, where we have where we have a letter to deploy Kibo across 2,000 rural public libraries, which will in return empower the lives of more than 2 lakh individuals through Kibo's capabilities of language literacy and print disability, catering to language print disability barriers. And this is how we are implementing the project, and we're also catering to these barriers faced by individuals. So now we are at the last segment of the session.
वो सारा होना चाहिए, इसमें आप कुछ भी कर लो, जितना ये टॉपिक मेंशन है वो सारा लिखा है चाहिए.
Yes. So now we are at the last part of the session, and as mentioned, so all throughout this FDP program, we would have heard a lot of insights regarding some of the technology, some of the insights, some of the steps that we all as individuals can take in understanding and implementing inclusion in organizations. But on an individual, so there are a lot of things we would have been overwhelmed with a lot of inputs regarding all of that. But what we as individuals can do our bit in supporting these lives and supporting an individual, and is something that we can explore in this last segment. So I'm happy to launch a fundraiser campaign here with all of you, in which we are deploying Kibo across 10 rural libraries in Karnataka. And we would love to have all of your support in doing your bit as an individual on an individual level to support these lives, to empower their dreams, provide the right access to education to people, students who are in these rural areas. And I think that this is how we all can come together and not just be restricted in terms of the technology, but do our bit in implementing it and changing lives together. So thank you so much, everyone, for being a part of this session. I hope you had a good time understanding and getting some value addition when we talk about inclusive education. I'll be happy to share the link of this campaign in the chat section. And now, if you have some questions, I'd be happy to answer your questions and also demonstrate. If you want me to try something or demonstrate something to you, I'll be happy to do that. Thank you so much, everyone, for your time.
So, hello Shivani, thank you so much for your talk. It was a great talk, and congratulations for your successful completion of this product. Shivani, my question is, sometimes right now you have given a demonstration of literature kind of things. Suppose if we have some kind of pictorial representation or pie chart representation, graphical representation, yeah, Indian map, if we are placing India map, how it will explain? If this is the map, where is Jammu and Kashmir, where is Kerala? So how it will demonstrate?
Sure. So there are two things here, ma'am. First is, let's say we are scanning a map of India. When you OCR it, it is designed on textual data. So it will extract the names of the states, and in the output you will get Jammu and Kashmir, Gujarat, Kerala, everything, all the text which is there on the map of India, you will get it as an output, and students can read and understand that. But it will not explain that this is a map of India which has Jammu and Kashmir in the top, Kerala in the bottom. So there's one level of human, and that's where the role of teachers or educators will come in. Where because if you just scan a map of India, then it could be a map of India with state's name. It could also be a geographical map or a season map, or there are different sorts of maps. So that is where Kibo as in technology will extract the text as an output and provide it to you. And then to understand it, there will be a level of education that can be provided through teachers.
Okay. And if we have some, like somewhere in caves or in schools, there are some sign languages are written. So if we scan them and we will put it under this your Kibo instrument, so can it translate that in English or Hindi? The sign languages.
Okay. No, currently it's designed only on textual data. So any form of text you have, it will extract it and provide you the output. But additionally, for Braille, some of the users are also using it to create Braille books. So what Keyboard does it helps you scan the content and download it in Unicode formats like doc.docx, txt. So then you can use any online converters, and if you want to create Braille books, then that docx Unicode format to Braille can be converted very easily. So that is something that Kibo currently is contributing. But if you have sign languages, no, it will not directly extract and provide you output for sign languages because it is designed for textual data.
And what about the mathematical equations now?
Yes, it supports basic mathematical equations. So if you have plus, minus, multiplication, simple arithmetic operations, it will support that. But if we talk about mathematical equations for higher education, complex ones like integration and all of that, sine, sigma, everything, then that is something which currently we are not offering. Because again, something text extraction on a higher education, when we specifically talk about maths, is something that has not been of a use case for a lot of students, and hence we are currently supporting it on a basic arithmetic operation level.
Okay, thank you. And the last question is, how much page does there is any page limit key we have to upload this much of page at one time, like 300 or 400 page limit or not?
No. From our side, there's no restriction as to the number of pages that you can capture in one go.
Okay, if we are writing something there, like if you are editing something, we are writing some research paper, suppose, so can it give the percentage of plagiarism or this kind of intelligence it has?
No. Currently, we haven't integrated it with plagiarism check, any tool that checks the plagiarism.
Okay, and my last question is, as you have already told us that you have already started distributed in 5 countries and you have lots of collaboration. So can you tell us what is the on an average cost of this instrument?
Sure. So there are two different models here. So the one that currently I've shown it to you is Kibo 360, which caters to blind individuals, as well as it's also beneficial for mainstream library use cases. So Kibo 360 is priced at 2.5 lakh rupees, comprising of the hardware and the annual subscription of the software.
2.5 lakh per annum.
Yes, so the initial pricing is 2.5 lakh, and then to renew your subscription, the subscription fee is 2 lakh rupees every year.
Okay, thank you so much. No question from my side.
Sure. Also, to add on to that, we also have a second variant which caters to only hard copy documents. So when I demonstrated, I showed you three tabs: intertext, PDF, and hard copy. So 360 supports all of these three, whereas Kibo XS only supports hard copy documents. So if you do not have PDF or digital files, you just want to scan your hard copy documents and do all the features, then that Kibo XS kit is priced at 99,000 with a lifetime perpetual license. So I'll just quickly share my screen and show that as well. So how is Kibo XS different? Just give me 1 minute. Yes. So this is Kibo 360, which caters to 3 different format input. If you only have hard copy, then you can go to keyboard.trestlelabs.com. I'll just log in with my email ID. Yes. So this Kibo XS supports only hard copy documents. The features remain the same. You'll be able to listen, translate, digitize, audiotize, and perform everything. And this is priced at 99,000 lifetime subscription. So it's a one-time purchase.
This Kibo XS is 99,000.
Yes, 99,000
Yeah,
with
okay.
a lifetime subscription.
Okay. And if we request you or we mail you that if some of your volunteer can come here and demonstrate these things for our student, so will this be possible?
So where are you based out of?
I'm in Kanpur, ITD college only.
Okay. Sure. I think I can share my number in the chat session, and even you can share your number. I can check with my team, and based on their availability, we can discuss on this.
Okay, thanks a lot, Shiv.
I'm just typing my number in the chat, and ma'am, if you can also share some contact details, we'll be happy to get in touch. I'll also share my email ID. Thank you so much, Bindu ma'am. Yes, I've also added my email ID in case you wish to write to us. We'll be happy to answer both on call as well as email. Thank you so much, ma'am. Any other questions or requirements, or if you want me to demonstrate something else, I'll be happy to do that.
Any more questions you can ask? Ma'am, I think there's no more questions. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your expertise and insight during our faculty development program. Your session was both enlightening and technically enriching, providing us with valuable knowledge on advanced technologies and innovative technologies. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me become a part of this development program. And we'll be happy to stay in touch with you guys and see how best we can all come together and contribute towards this shared mission that we all share.